We're talking about a temple where faith and the totally inexplicable, well, they just collide. We're going to try and unravel the ancient legend behind the Mehndipur Balaji temple, a place that's famous for its unique and powerful spiritual energy.
But let's kick things off with a question that, many of us might have faced in one way or another. What do you do when you run into suffering that just seems to have no earthly explanation? When you've tried every doctor, every therapist, every possible remedy, and still nothing changes?
You see, in a lot of ancient traditions, these kinds of deep-seated problems aren't just seen as physical or mental. They're often attributed to unseen negative energies or entities that can attach themselves to a person, sometimes with truly devastating results.
And for those who believe this, there's one place that really stands out as a beacon of hope. A temple that's known all across India as a sanctuary. A place where people can finally find freedom from these very forces. And that place is Mehndipur Balaji. So what is it that makes this temple so incredibly unique? Well, to get that, we've got to first look at who's in charge. Because this isn't just a temple, it's considered a full-blown divine court of justice. And justice here isn't just handled by one singular deity. Nope. It's run by a powerful trio, 3 divine beings, and each one has a very specific and very crucial role to play in helping the devotees who come here for help.
Okay, this table breaks down the divine hierarchy perfectly. At the very top, you have Sri Balaji Hanuman. He's the king, and his main job is to make sure his devotees are safe and well. Then you've got his commander, Kotwal Bhairavnath, who leads the divine army. And then there's the really pivotal figure, Sri Pretraj Sarkar. He's the Dananayak, or the judge, and his duty is to punish and ultimately to liberate these negative energies.
I mean, this whole structure is just so specific. A king, a commander, and a judge who deals with spirits. It really makes you wonder, right? Where did this incredible divine setup even come from?
Well, the answer, according to the lore that surrounds the temple, lies way, way back in the past. It's a story that connects directly to the time of the epic Ramayana. And this is where the real mystery starts to unfold.
So this timeline lays out the tragic and absolutely crucial story of a rishi named Nilasur. It all kicks off during the Lanka Dahan, when Hanuman sets Ravana's entire city on fire. Now, Nilasur was actually a devotee of Ravana at that time, but when he saw Hanuman's raw power, he had this huge realization. He thought, wow, if Rama's messenger is this mighty, how powerful must Rama himself be? So right then and there, he switched sides. He went and found Hanuman, just desperate to meet Rama, and Hanuman, moved by his devotion, promised he'd make it happen. But then, tragedy struck. Before that promise could be kept, Ravana found out about Nilasur's change of heart and had him killed.
So years and years go by. The war is won, and the day finally comes when Lord Rama is ready to leave his earthly form. But before he goes, he has one last critical mission for his most loyal devotee. And here it is, the divine command from Lord Rama to Hanuman himself. He tells Hanuman he has to stay on Earth in all sorts of different forms to protect and look after his devotees until his final incarnation, Kalki, shows up. This one command, right here, is the very reason the Mehndipur temple exists. Now, to take on this massive task of protecting all of humanity from every kind of suffering, including these spiritual problems, Hanuman knew he was going to need some help. And in that moment, he remembered that promise he made, the one he couldn't keep, to that devoted rishi Nilasur. So when Hanuman called for him, Nilasur appeared, but he wasn't a liberated soul. Because his death was so violent and so sudden, he hadn't achieved mukti, or liberation. He was stuck in the spirit realm, what's known as the Pret Yoni, a soul in limbo, just unable to move on. Seeing his state and remembering his pure devotion, Hanuman gave Nilasur a brand new, profound purpose. He appointed the spirit of this rishi to be his Dandanayak, the official judge in the divine court he was setting up right there in Mehndipur. And with that role came a new title, Pretraj Sarkar, which basically means the king or ruler of spirits. In this powerful new position, Nilasur would have the divine authority to pass judgment on all troubled and negative souls. So you see, this whole ancient story is the foundation for everything. The faith, the rituals, everything you see at the Mehndipur temple today. It all comes back to a promise made by Hanuman. And in an incredible show of humility and honor, Hanuman promised Nilasur that in his court, the judge would be worshipped even before the king. This ancient promise is why, to this day, the protocol at the temple is that devotees must first pay their respects to Prithviraj Sarkar. So, for anyone seeking help, the process is this very clear two-step procedure. First, you take your case to the court of the judge, Prithviraj Sarkar, since he's the one who deals with the spiritual affliction. Only after that do you go before the king, Lord Balaji Hanuman, to ask for his blessings for your well-being and future protection. And for those of you who might be thinking of visiting, tradition says that Tuesdays and Saturdays are the most powerful days for a darshan, which is a viewing of the deities. It's also believed that followers should try to make the journey at least once a year to kind of maintain their spiritual wellness. And so, that's how the legacy of that ancient promise is still alive and well today. The divine court that Hanuman established, with Prithviraj Sarkar as its judge, just continues its sacred mission, freeing people from suffering that can't be explained and finally bringing peace to troubled souls. Just an incredible story, right? A story of devotion, cosmic justice, and a promise that was fulfilled across the ages. Victory to Lord Balaji of Mehndipur.